I know it's a bit noisy, but that's another thing that I always want to maintain, which is a real state of happenings as I come and present what's happening around me. Sherry says it's a channel of realness. We don't do perfection over here because, you see, it's not real. Perfection is a created state. And even as I am showing you the view from my kitchen window, which I think it's a beautiful view, I'm all the way up on the 10th floor. And the most fascinating thing for me is that we are still hearing all the street noises as though I was right at the side of the road on the ground floor. And this is what reality is. And it just amazes me as I look all the way across. I am able to see that beautiful bridge that always catches my attention as you move from El Distrito Nacional into Santo Domingo Este. So home for me now is in Santo Domingo Este, and without a plan, without an intent, I have now been to Santo Domingo Oeste, Santo Domingo Norte, which is a story for a day when I really feel like sharing a story, and now residing in Santo Domingo Este. And why this view fascinates me is it reminds me of Spain. It just looks like any village, any town, any area in Latin America or in Spain. And we're in the Latin Caribbean. Now, if I were to reposition myself to the balcony, I would be able to give you an even better view of the ocean front. But right now you can see it just here from the side. And so I wanted to just give my little thought on life in the Dominican Republic and all that it brings. It's a very varied country. And for those who do not know, the wealth of this country has been understated. Being here has opened up my mind to all that this country has. Mining is huge, and the resources from the gold, they have nickel, it's big. They have got agriculture, but to be frank, as a Jamaican, we have seen that agriculture here in the DR is leaps and bounds ahead of what we have. The quality of the produce is what gets me. Quality is exceptional. The meats here, they are soft, juicy, tender, succulent. We're talking about agriculture. We're talking about Caribbean. Oh, you might be asking, what is this barrier, this cord? Let's see if I can show you. This cord, I was kind of wondering when I woke up yesterday why it was. Ooh, I can't even see the end. Let's see if I can see the end with my own eyes. No, I can't. Yes, I can actually. But yesterday morning I woke up and I woke up to the sounds of men speaking right outside my window on the 10th floor, and I was concerned. I was confused. And it was not until later in the day I realized that these cords are suspended to hold painters who have been working on painting the side of this building. So yeah, but there is nobody there now. But it's just one of the things. The work ethic here has surprised me. I've watched many videos. Most of them have been made by persons from the so-called first world countries. And their observation, maybe they're seeing things at a different pace and space, and maybe because they're not necessarily immersed in the lifestyle. They're kind of just in an observant role. They speak of laid backness and no real sense of precision. My experience as a Jamaican being here in the DR, I have found the work ethic to be very interesting. People are busy, people are moving, people are doing things. The guys who are bringing things to the complexes that I have stayed in from the Colmados, they're at work, they're busy. You know, they get in, they know what they're doing, they get it done. I had an experience which wasn't necessarily health-wise a good experience, but it was a very interesting one, where we ordered the 5-gallon jug of drinking water because water here is not portable, and our brand says Alaska. Now we know there are different brands for water, that's just how it is. But when the young man came to the door and we wanted to exchange the bottles, he did the strangest thing. He popped off the lid, tied a plastic around the opening, and basically put one bottle on top of the other. And what he did was basically poured the water from the bottle he had taken into the bottle that I had offered for him to take away. You know, when we go to buy that size water, they take it away, and only for me to discover that here they sell brands and focus on brands. So if the water bottle is not from the brand that bodega is selling, in this case, they transfer the water back into your bottle. I was like, how interesting. And he did it. He got paid, he got his little tip, and he moved on. Well, that transfer activity was a very costly one for me, because within about a day I started to get ulcers in my mouth and I couldn't figure out what had changed. So I did a process of elimination and came to the conclusion that between his dirty hands, because they have to be dirty, he's handling money, he's handling bottles, he's riding on a scooter, he's probably picking up different things at different places. Who knows, he probably even used the bathroom, handled his genitalia, and we don't know how frequently they have been washed. And the germs transferred from that process that he had into the water, and I got contaminated water. So for $100, 100 Dominica pesos bottled water and a transfer service or tip that I gave him, I ended up spending maybe 2-3 times of that to get an antiseptic to help to reduce the mouth ulcers that by then had become quite large and were impacting how I spoke, how I ate, and the pain was horrible. If you've ever had mouth ulcers, it's no fun. And so I admire the fact that he was doing his job, and he was doing it with gusto, but he omitted the fact that the health concerns, the sanitation issue is very important. But I digress, as I usually do. And my observation as it relates to other ways of earning, tourism, for example, is very interesting, because although the DR has the largest capacity in terms of room complement in the Caribbean, tourism is not more than between 13, not even 15-16% of their GDP. That is huge. A country this massive, this beautiful, this big on tourism development, which is not having a GDP of anywhere near 20% coming from tourism, is massive. And I could talk and go on, and I will. But of course, as you can imagine, My hand is getting tired. And I'm also very terrified that I might drop this phone through the window. So I'm going to stop this video right here. But as you are well aware, Sherry has so much to say. And as I go on and I see things, my view is always a little bit different from the others because my thoughts are a little bit different from most people. But as I see it, I will share it. So you just stick and stay. And remember, Sherry has lots to say. Ciao for now.